Hey everybody, okay, so I don't know if you've watched the other two video blogs that I released today. This is the third of the three video blogs that I'm releasing on Tuesday, August 14th, 2018. The first video blog I released will be the one about just the whole, like what's going on in tabletop hobby and my personal life, more board game oriented. The second one was about RPGs, and the third one is here now going to be about miniatures wargaming, and more often than not it's going to be specifically about Warhammer, maybe some Blood Bowl thrown in. I don't really want to get into a ton of different systems right now. I mean, I'm more of an Age of Sigmar guy. I'm dipping my toes into 40k a little bit, but so I don't want to like I'm not going to like go out and run out and spend $500 on Flames of War tomorrow or Drop Zone or anything like that. I want to stick with Warhammer right now, and see where that goes. But so this is about a year ago, a little over a year ago. Hold on a second. I got to get a taste of my drink of my tasty Arnold Palmer. Hold on. Oh, that's good. Anyway, man, that is really good. Hold on. Ah, it's amazing. Anyway, so, about a year ago, a little over a year ago, I think I've told this story before, maybe you've heard it, but I was at a pizza restaurant called Miniaures. I don't know if you have those, but I think it might be just an upper Midwest chain type of thing. But recently, in this little strip mall next to where my old place of work was, I think I had gone to lunch there with my wife. And I had the kids with me. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go check out that store. Because they just opened up a Warhammer store in that little strip mall. And I went over there and I walked in. And this is... And, I'll tell the story some other time. And I think I've already told the story once before. But it was kind of like just a dive into it. It was like just, I'm done. It was like I was hooked. I had never really been into the whole... wargaming scene, into the miniature scene that much, or at all, really. And I went back that next weekend, brought my daughter with me. She learned how to play the game from the guy who was running the store. He was an awesome dude who's become a really good friend named JD. And I went all in. I was like, okay, I'm going to buy this, I'm going to play this, I'm going to get this, and I now have a wall of unpainted miniatures, unassembled miniatures. I am neck deep in the hobby, and I love it. I've probably played it a handful of times, but I am constantly reading about Warhammer. I am watching videos about Warhammer. I'm watching videos about how to, about miniatures combat. I'm fully into the hobby, and I just love everything about it. Now, I have fallen into the same tar pit that a lot of people fall into, which is that you love everything about it, but you can't find time to put your miniatures together. You can't find time to paint your miniatures. You can't find time to set up games. And one of the things that kind of stinks is that in my area where I am, there's like this many 40k players, and there are like this many Age of Sigmar players. And I like Age of Sigmar. That's just kind of my thing, and I've always liked the fantasy more than the sci-fi. Which is fine. I'm okay with playing with these people here, and I'm totally cool with that. But I don't... It's like, in a weird way, playing it really isn't even as much fun to me as like everything else about the hobby. About the construction, about the building. I kind of like that process more. And I think that's actually pretty common. I think it's just mostly because I think that a lot of the miniatures gaming is really, really hyper competitive, and that's fine. But it isn't for me, and I'm not trying to disparage people that are really into like that like the whole like strategies and everything like that. I mean, my chaos army that I crafted is like a total hodgepodge of crud, and I just play it because I think it's kind of fun. It isn't made to be, you know, a great army. It's just made because I think they look cool, if that makes sense. But and so I'll lose when I play it, and then people are like, oh, you know, it's like, this army really doesn't work. And I was like, yeah, but they're just kind of fun. You know, I kind of like the idea of these slaves to darkness chariots, Gorby's chariots, charging in there and you know, just making a mess of things and then getting killed. I like the image of that in my head more than it's like, oh, I need to, let me get out my pen and paper here. Maybe, you know, and I know I'm making fun of the Math Hammer people. And you know what? If you get enjoyment out of that, then more power to you. It's as I've always said about all games, you know, if you are having fun playing what you play and you're not like hurting anybody while doing it, then you should play how you're going to play, and you really shouldn't worry about why I don't understand how you enjoy it or why I don't like the way that you play, if that makes sense. So, all that being said and done, is that I need to like have some impetus. I need to have some sort of drive that will push me towards the idea of actually finishing armies, actually finishing projects. Because in my head, I have all these ideas. I have this idea for a Night Haunt army. I have an idea for a Nurgle army. I have an idea for an Idoneth Deepkin army and how I want them to look and everything like that. But it's just like, for whatever reason, I just can't find the time or the place or the situation that would allow me to actually like spend the necessary resources of my own personal interest and time to actually get done with the creation of those armies. Now, who knows if I'd ever even play with them? Who knows if I'd ever even, you know, take them to a table and set them up and goof around with them? I just kind of want to actually see the stuff that I purchased, like, put together and on a table somewhere, or even just in storage, like on one of the shelves in my game room that I'm building, you know, just sitting there ready to be used if need be the next time that like I'm actually able to get a game together. So fast forward from like, and I've been thinking that for a long time, but okay, rewind and technically kind of fast forward from what I've been thinking that to Gen Con. And I have known Rob Oren for a long, long time. And Rob Oren is one of the super nicest dudes in the tabletop world that you'll ever meet. If you've been to conventions, you might notice that Rob Oren is the man mountain. His arms are huge. He was a hardcore bodybuilder at one point, and he still like retains the size of him. He still goes to the gym. He's a little bit older than me, and I'm kind of literally a gray beard. But he's just literally one of the nicest people you'll ever meet in your entire life. He is giving to a fault. He has donated so much of his time and his life to charity. My life is immeasurably better for being friends with Rob Oren. And he has his own YouTube channel, and he's actually become part of the Alaboom crew. And it's really enjoyable having him on there. And if you haven't subscribed to Rob Oren's Tabletop World, I strongly suggest you do, because man, the guy is just, I mean, he even does like Bob Ross paintings, and like he does like paintings that tell stories or whatever, and then like he sells them and takes the profits and gives them to charity and things like that. So I mean, he's just a super cool guy and super nice. But he and I ran into each other at Gen Con like several times, and we just started talking, about what we could do together to like kind of just be in this hobby together, how we could like play games together, even online, how we could work together to inspire each other to move forward with our painting projects and the projects that we want to do with our own gaming channels and things like that. And Rob is just a font of energy and excitement and awesomeness. And we kind of ballyhooed ideas back and forth together. And something I've always, and one of the things that kind of came up from when we were talking was we both have a huge love of movies. And there's tons of movies that we both love, and tons of movies we both love that coincide. And you know, a lot of the same likes that we both enjoy. So what we ended up doing, actually, and we kind of were talking for a little bit, and something I've always wanted to do is I've always wanted to, like, you know, just I used to review movies. Like a long time ago, I used to review movies for a newspaper, actually, and that was a long time ago. But one of the things I've always I love film, and I love all kinds of movies, and what I told him that I would love to do is, I said, what if we did miniatures at the movies? And he was like, what do you mean? And I said, what if, like, I got you on a live broadcast, and you and I both started watching the same movie at the same time? And what if we could figure out some way that, like, we could tell other people to do it at the same time with us, other people that are, like, trying to paint their miniatures and trying to get their projects done? What if we invited them, hey, we're going to do miniatures at the movies. This is going to be, like, say, a Friday night. We're going to start at, like, 9 o'clock at night, and we're all going to watch the same movie together. And for the next 2 hours, we're going to devote our time to both watching this movie and also, like, working on our hobby, working on our miniatures hobby. And Rob loved the idea. He started, like, saying, what if we watched this movie while we made this? What if we, like, painted our Blood Bowl teams at the same time as, you know, we watched The Longest Yard, or things like that. You know, we were, like, having all these ideas that were coinciding. And I was like, yes, this is awesome. Let's make this happen. So, we are going to attempt to do the first miniatures at the movies. And the cool thing is that, like, you'll be able to, so we'll comment on the movie while we're watching it. And you know, I mean, this might stink, but this is more for me and Rob, right? This is more for me and Rob, just to be able to hang out some night and just talk about why we dig a certain movie or why we enjoy a certain movie, and at the same time work on the miniatures and work on the hobby that we love. But the idea is that we'll do it, and we'll say, okay, everybody, like, if it's on a DVD or if you're watching it on streaming or whatever you're watching, like, we're all going to hit play at the same time. We all hit play at the same time, and then we're going to watch the same thing. Now, there's some technology things that I'm a little bit worried about as far as making them work. We're going to test this out. Rob and I are going to test it out Wednesday night before the Owl Boom. We're going to just, you know, try to see how it would work and make it happen. And I think, I mean, it'll be there. I think there'll be some hiccups to begin with, but our goal here is to do this coming Friday, which I believe is the 17th, if my addition in my hands is correct. So we'll do the first one ever that Friday. And the cool thing is that if you can't watch it live, it will go up on my YouTube channel. And so later on, if you watch the same that movie at that time, you could start it up and, like, wait for us to say, okay, and we're going to hit play now. And if you're watching the movie at home, you could turn that on any single time you wanted, and then you could listen to the two of us banter back and forth about the movie and talk about the things that we like about it, that we dislike about it, things we thought were cool. And also, theoretically, you'll be able to watch us work on our projects as well. Be whatever miniatures we're working on at that time. So Rob actually asked me to choose the very first movie, and so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to write. I got my legal pad and I got my piece of paper out here. I'm going to write the first ever movie that we're going to watch, and I'm just going to put this on here like so. And I'm going to, you won't know, because what you're going to have to do is I'm going to have my daughter actually deliver this to Rob. And you'll have to go and check out Rob Oren's Tabletop if you want to see the movie we're going to do. You're going to have to go ahead and watch that on Thursday when he gets this letter. And he's going to open it, and then he's going to tell everybody what the movie is that we're going to watch that Friday night. So, hold on. Rylan! Get over here! Alright, the cool thing is that my daughter has her room on the other side of my table. Of course, now I'm waiting for her. She takes a long time. But anyway, so this is going to have here, I'll actually write Rob's name on here. Rob There we go. So here comes my daughter right now. This is the letter. If you can see that, that says Rob on there. Does it say Rob on there?
Yeah.
Okay. So come here and get the letter.
Okay.
Come around so that people can see you, goofball.
Okay.
Don't trip over the power cords or anything. All right. Maybe you guys, if you were at Gen Con, you might have seen this little squirrel running around with me. She's got her Taekwondo outfit on right now. I'm taking her to Taekwondo here in just a little bit. So come here. Come here.
Mm-hmm.
Does this letter have does it have something in it? Can you feel it?
Yeah.
Okay. And what does it say on here?
This is Rob.
It says Rob. So say hi to Rob.
Hi, Rob.
Can you get? She can't see you. See, look at that.
Hi, Rob.
All right, and you're gonna deliver this to Rob.
Okay.
Go. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome. I have often told my daughter that part of my job as being a dad is embarrassing her, which is I can't wait till she goes to high school and I walk her to her first class in a bathrobe. Anyway, so that's that. That is the first installment of my miniatures blog. The idea with miniatures at the movies is we're going to do that in we're going to try to do at least once a month. Maybe we'll do 2. Who knows? It really depends on timing and technology and what we can do as far as that's concerned. But if you have a movie that you think that you'd like us to watch while we do our thing, that you'd like to work on your own miniatures at home, by all means. If you have any kind of miniatures questions or anything that you want to talk about, go ahead. The biggest thing, like I said, is with any hobby, I think it's putting time towards when you're young. Sorry, I kind of skip around, as you know, but when you're young, you kind of let your time flow, right? You're like, I can go over here and do this. Oh, what's that over there? I can go, oh, no, wait, what's over here? And you kind of rotate. But when you get older, one of the things that you're going to realize is that when you have kids and you have a wife and you have like a real job, your time gets constricted. And I think what at least I forget about, because I'm kind of a big kid at heart, as I've said many times, is that if I don't just say, you know what, I'm going to spend the next 3 hours on this night putting together the models, and that's what I'm going to be doing, I won't get those 3 hours. I won't get that time to do that. Because something else will come and eat up that time. And that time will no longer be mine. And I think for those of us that have these constraints on our personal lives, I think, in my opinion, we definitely need to kind of put our foot down, so to speak, for ourselves, and just say, you know what, that time's for me, and this hobby is something I love, and I need to take the time to make, and because that hobby is important to me, I have to give it the importance it has. And I think this way, this is kind of an impetus. This is something that I can plan on. This is something I can do, and I can make that happen. And I'm excited to do it, and I'm excited to have you follow along. Now, this isn't all what the Miniatures blog is going to be about. Miniatures blog is also going to be about if any games I've been on, talking about maybe some upcoming releases that I'm excited about, talking about like different models I'm working on, things like that. And it'll be about anything you guys want to talk about too. So if you have any suggestions about topics or things that you want to talk about when it comes to miniatures or miniature hobby or Warhammer or whatever, please just go ahead and tell me what you think and tell me what you want to talk about, and I will try to do those things as best as I can. So, yeah, there you go. That's me. I'm the Undead Viking. This is my Olive Palmer, and I'm telling you, I hope you're having an awesome day, and until next time, we'll talk to you then.